All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are unpacking a truly fascinating and frankly chilling 2026 research record published on Zenodo. It's by Dr. Melvin Sewell and Saiku Venga from the Cosmic University of Echo Rift Studies, and it documents a literal, real-life algorithmic nightmare. We're going to walk through their primary case study on something they call a cross-border financial access collapse. If you rely on digital banking, debit cards, or international finance apps when you travel, and let's be honest, who doesn't these days, the architecture of this failure is absolutely crucial to understand.
Okay, let's dive right into this by putting you in the shoes of the traveler in this case study. Imagine it's July 2026. You are traveling internationally, having a great time in Osaka, Japan. You manage your finances perfectly, your account is in great standing, and you know for a fact you've got thousands of dollars in liquid funds sitting right there. You walk up to an ATM, just looking to grab some cash for the day. You pop your card in, punch your PIN, but instead of the glorious sound of dispensing bills, you are hit with a totally different reality.
Boom. This exact error message flashes on the screen. Your bank has frozen your card. Okay, weird. You try another ATM, same message. You try to just buy a quick snack at a local shop? Denied. The real terror here isn't just that there's a minor glitch, it's that sudden helpless realization that the digital bridge to your own money has just evaporated. You are officially stranded. So how does a perfectly healthy account just completely collapse like that? To figure it out, the researchers broke this down layer by layer.
Let's start with layer 1, the glitch, which triggered a massive balance drain cascade.
Now, the structural integrity of this account didn't fail because of a massive hack or stolen identity. It failed deep inside PayPal's automated debit authorization system. Looking at this simulation of the system ledger, you can see the glitch happening in real time. Whenever a totally normal transaction happened, say grabbing $100 at a 7-bank ATM or spending $12.50 at a local McDonald's, the system instantly generated a corrupted duplicate authorization loop for that exact same amount. And these weren't just standard pending holds that tie up your credit. No, they were executing a principal drain. They were actively deducting liquid funds right out of the actual account balance.
So every single time this traveler bought lunch, hopped on the train, or grabbed a coffee, the system quietly double-charged the principal. And because these corrupted duplicates carried brand new, distinct authorization IDs, the system thought they were entirely separate transactions. To make matters worse, they completely failed to auto-expire like a normal banking hold would. They just kept stacking up, draining the liquid capital so fast that it created a massive, artificial, high-velocity anomaly inside PayPal's risk engine. The algorithm was basically being force-fed corrupted data screaming, "Hey, this account is being drained by a bad actor right now!"
Which brings us to layer 2, the machine takes over, creating a complete fraud engine deadlock.
A system's fraud engine is naturally designed to protect users from rapid drains. So, by August 12th, the algorithm reacted to these artificial red flags with overwhelming force. The immediate operational paralysis was total. ATM withdrawals, universally denied across all the major Japanese networks. 7-bank, eNet, Lawson Bank. Point-of-sale transactions were outright rejected at every single retail and grocery store. The traveler was locked out of the local economy entirely. But the most terrifying part of this wasn't the rejections at the register. It was the incredible depth at which the system threw the lock.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer danger of opaque algorithmic governance. The researchers found that the risk engine escalated the anomaly into a network-level freeze at the MasterCard routing layer. Guys, this is a deep, deep security state. When a lock happens down at this routing layer, it is totally invisible to frontline customer service agents. They literally can't see the block on their standard dashboard. And even if they somehow could, it's entirely non-overridable through their manual workflows. The machine locked the door and completely swallowed the key.
That leads directly into layer 3, the human wall, and some incredibly frustrating procedural dead ends. Naturally, your first instinct when you're locked out of your money abroad is to call a human being, right? But that introduces our next massive systemic failure, which the researchers perfectly define as script exhaustion. We've all been there, trapped in automated phone trees and rigid customer service scripts. Well, script exhaustion is when a support agent hits the absolute administrative boundary of their protocols. Because the underlying risk engine locks the card at the invisible network layer, the human agents were powerless. They were trying to solve a deep infrastructure crisis using surface-level troubleshooting scripts.
Let's walk through this rigid escalation loop because it builds into total absurdity. Step 1. The agent checks the surface system and cheerfully tells you, "Great news, your account is active and in good standing." Step 2. Step 2, they run you through an in-app two-factor identity check, which you easily pass. Step 3, because your card mysteriously still won't work, they offer you fallbacks. But here's the kicker. The script only allows for domestic U.S. solutions. They actually suggested transferring money to an external U.S. bank, sending it to another U.S. PayPal user, or, I can't even make this up, mailing a physical paper check to a U.S. address. For someone standing hungry on a street corner in Osaka, this is literally useless.
Exhausting the human element pushes us right into Layer 4, the regulatory trap and local banking incompatibility.
Totally exhausted by the script, the support agents finally threw out one last digital lifeline, a cross-border wire service called Zoom, to send the money directly to the traveler. Sounds like the perfect fallback, right? Well, this heavily US-centric solution violently collided with international law. The US system just assumes you can pop into a Western Union and pick up cash anywhere, but Japan's financial infrastructure is incredibly strict. Over-the-counter cash pickups are basically non-existent at mainstream retail locations there. Zoom only allows for direct bank deposits in Japan, and to get a local Japanese bank account, you need a Zycock residency card, a registered local address, and a local Japanese phone number. The traveler had none of those. Slam. The final digital door just closed completely.
So the crucial point is, how do we make sense of all this? Let's get into the takeaway. Systemic sabotage explained.
When you look at how all these perfectly rigid protocols stacked up, it's like a giant puzzle of worst-case scenarios, a Swiss cheese cascade of perfectly aligned failures. Step 1, the glitch freezes the card. Step 2, the machine locks the routing layer, denying all ATMs and retail terminals. Step 3, human agents offer a remittance that requires a local account the traveler doesn't have. Step 4, local Japanese regulations block any alternative cash pickup. Step 5, the holes in the Swiss cheese line up flawlessly, resulting in a total access collapse. Every single system functioned exactly as it was programmed to, and the result was completely devastating.
This leads us right to the chilling conclusion of this research, neatly summarized by their definition of systemic sabotage. It is functional sabotage and total operational confinement produced by automated algorithmic governance. And the absolute most important phrase in that definition is the very end, independent of human intent. There was zero malice here, guys. No human being inside PayPal or MasterCard sat down and decided to ruin this traveler's trip. It was just the inevitable result of rigid, opaque digital infrastructure crashing into strict international laws. The machine doesn't have to hate you to destroy your livelihood. It just has to rigidly follow a broken set of rules.
Which leaves us with a pretty haunting question as we wrap up this explainer. As our lives become more and more tethered to automated risk engines, invisible routing layers, and complex international banking architectures, could an algorithm unintentionally sabotage you? We always assume our digital capital is safe, sitting right there in our pockets. But the Osaka Lockout event of 2026 proves that financial access is far more fragile than any of us want to admit. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep questioning the systems that govern your digital life.